In terms of technology, we're rolling out mobile technology. We've rolled out tablets to our folk in our central and southern area, so we're getting some efficiencies and basically productivity increases as a result of that, and we're in the process of rolling that out through our northern and western area, which will again increase our productivity. We've got an arrangement with Wellington City Council to provide inspection support, so we've got one of their folk up here at the moment providing some support for us as well. And a number of other initiatives. So that's just off the top of my head. So we are under load. It's a fluctuating load. We've got another piece of technology we're working on at the moment, which is a booking and allocations tool, which will enable us to be able to react more effectively to those fluctuating inspection booking levels across the region, and then redeploy our teams more rapidly to be able to address that and make more effective use of them. And we're hoping that tool will be available for us in January. So a long answer.
Well, no. Well, thank you very much for that, Ian. I actually asked one of the builders to talk to the Master Builders Association, and I've got a list here. North Shore, Takapuna 10 days, Millwater 9 to 10, and so on. So I will give you this, and you know, I know, Councillor Penrose, do you want to make any comments, because you've been all over this too?
Yeah, I will, Madam Chair. First of all, I want to start off with saying, acknowledging both Dean and Ian in this particular role. I want to say this first. I want to start off with. Actually, I'll go back up a little bit here. I don't know about you people around this table, but I take my regional role pretty serious, and I don't get a lot of time in my own ward, specifically because I'm here to represent the region. This morning I got on the motorway at 20 to 6, and I think Councillor Cashmore gets on about the same time when he leaves his gate at Orrery Point. If you don't hit the south by about 5:30, 20 to 6, you're stuffed. This morning, I don't know if you all know, but it's 2 hours to get into the CBD of Auckland. 2 hours. Yesterday it was now 45. That's the reality of it. When I jumped on at Drury this morning at 20 to 6, it was backed up to Drury from Takanini. And normally a 4-minute trip from between Takanini and Papakura and Takanini. 29 minutes on average, and that's when you hit it at 6:15 in the morning. 29 minutes. That's the reality of it. And things aren't getting better. And this is people not just living in Auckland, it's people coming outside Auckland. Ngarawahia, Tikawata, Mercer, Mary, Thames, Baumarua, the whole lot. That's the reality, Hamilton included. So where am I going with this? Auckland's growing faster than we can keep up with. I want to acknowledge Ian in particular, because I have regular catch-ups with Ian. I've been concerned about this area since the day I came into this particular role in regulatory. And I monitor it pretty closely with the team, and I want to acknowledge that team. They're doing an outstanding job, like our bylaws team, outstanding job delivering some outcomes to Auckland. But we have challenges, massive challenges. We talked about when we had the cabinet ministers around this table not long ago, and I bailed the minister up after the meeting and said, you know, how can we do it better? He said, well, look at the 20 Canadians that we brought in for Christchurch. So Ian looked into that. I won't go into it here, but there's challenges there too. Massive challenges. It's not an easy fix, especially when you've got the industry is growing faster than we can keep up with. The explosion in Auckland, you know, there's 4 big key projects that's coming on stream for Auckland in the next 3 months. Massive projects and disruptions that's going to cause Auckland CBD in the next 5 years, over the next 5 years. So what do we do about it? Well, to me, it's pretty easy. While we get criticised for having staff, too many staff, and there might be some areas that we need to address, and I think the CEO's addressing that. Over time, he's addressing that over the next couple of years. But you've got to give him a wee bit of slack to be able to do that with. We're still 3% lower than when we first came in with the 8 councils together for staffing across the organisation. 3% less than when we had 8 councils together. But the CEO is trying to work on that. My critical issue here is that we've got to have people in the right areas, building and resourcing areas. That's what grows our city, whether we like it or not. And I keep going on about it. Nucor in particular. We didn't ask for the super city. We got the super city. We didn't ask for the IT upgrade. We have to do it. And if we don't do it, we can't get those efficiencies. We can't deliver the outcomes that all of us around this table want, whether you're in Rodney in the far north or you're in Belmont, Pukekohe in the far south. Everybody should be able to walk into those service centres and get the same information. That's what they're expecting. Last night I read the paper. Last night, criticising council, us around this table, why we haven't got one consistency across our waste minimisation, our rubbish bags and rubbish bins. Hello, there's a cost factor. Hello, no one wants to pay for it, but everyone wants it. Simple as that. You would have seen your agenda, guys. Building control, lodged consents, volumes up 15% compared to the first quarter of a year ago. This equates to the average increase of approximately 1,000 consents per month. 1,000 consents per month. Inspections are up 10%. Sale of information is up 37%, first quarter compared to the last year. Compliance services are significantly up. 312% increase in issues related to what Ian has talked about, notices to fix. Yep. Notices to fix. Now, we all complain around this table when we talk about leaking buildings and what we've gone through. Now, I can remember under PDC, I think we had 4. We had 4 leaking homes, but the rest, we've had to pay for what the rest of Auckland. That's the reality of it. But do we want to go back down that track? I don't want to. And on my watch, I don't want someone in 5 years' time to say, what did you do about it? Well, I'm doing something about it, because I've got to make sure these guys have got the tools in the toolbox to be able to deliver with. This is a result of dangerous and non-compliant buildings. Hugely dangerous and non-compliant buildings. We've had a huge increase in resource consents. What do we do about it? What I'm pleased to hear today is the CEO and Dean Kimpton have given Ian the go-ahead to employ 20 more staff and increase the salary band. It's absolutely critical for those people around this table who have been in business or are still in business, understand you've got to pay to get right people in the industry. You've got to pay for it. If you don't pay for it, you don't get them. The problem we've got in this area, guys, the city is growing faster than we can keep up. That's the reality of it. The other area is that we've got people in the private sector taking our qualified guys away from us. And not just the private sector, but from different TLAs across the country. Different councils across the country are taking their guys. Why wouldn't you go? Now, I'm only just trying to stab in the dark here, guys. I'm not going into people's salary bands. Argument's sake, 65k. If you're going to get offered 85k and go and live in Dunedin, the workload's a lot less, traffic congestion's easier, lifestyle's a hell of a lot better, where would you go? That's the reality of it. So, you know, we've got to be able to give the tools and the toolbox for our guys to be able to deliver outcomes for us. So, we've got at this stage 4 vacancies for inspectors, and processing, we've got 14 vacancies. But there's a whole process in here, and I won't go into how that complies and how that works in together. Ian's probably better to explain it than me. But today, people around this table, I've been saying for 12 months, 18 months now, that I have real concerns where we sit on this. How we deliver outcomes. New core is absolutely fundamental to delivering some of the stuff in the regulatory area. I'm saying that, you've heard Ian, the new technology will be rolling in mid-December, Ian, mid-December. Some of the new technology for the guys out in the field there. So they don't have to come to the local office each day, they can go straight to the job and get on with it. That's what we're after. At the same token, people, I say, it's like our animal management. You know, we can criticise animal management. We're saving the Auckland councillors $800,000 a year. We've brought the services in-house. We're delivering better outcomes. Yes, we've probably employed 40 staff, but what are we saving? What are we saving? I say, get out there, jump in a vehicle and go out with the guys and see what's actually happening out there. That's what I do, and I'm doing. And see what's actually happening out there across the region. And support the team that we've got. Madam Chair, I'll leave it there.
Thank you, and I was getting told off for allowing you to do that, but it's very important. This is a performance report, and building consents and inspections as well as resource consents are part of that report. Thank you. Councillor Quacks.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'm just interested. I know that there's a big increase in the consents for dwellings and sites, but it doesn't, it doesn't tell us how, it's a forward-looking figure, but it doesn't tell us how many houses, how many dwellings are actually being built. And this is for 1 quarter, 4,379. So, if you extrapolate that out, you'd think, well, over 16,000 houses, dwellings will be, or sites will be available. I'm just wondering if that's, just give me a sense of what you're seeing and how many what your views are on how many buildings, how many dwellings will actually be built over the next 12 months. Because that carries on for what Councillor Penrose was talking about, and should give you an idea of what you'll need in terms of staff numbers as well.
Councillor, and I'm sure one of my staff will correct me here, last financial year approximately 5,450 residential units were delivered to the Auckland market. That'll be significantly more this coming financial year. If you look back to, say, 2004, 2005, when we last had a significant building boom, when we were delivering a large number of residential units and building stock to Auckland, the majority of the residential units were delivered in the form of large multi-unit developments, and certainly looking at the pipeline that I've got some visibility of through our pre-application process, there's a large amount of commercial development coming through multi-storey residential units, which will significantly up the number of residential units that you're seeing at the moment.
Yeah, thanks for that, Ian, and I appreciate all the work that you and your team do. So back in 2004, 2005, when we reached a figure of across the region of somewhere around about 12, 13,000 dwellings per annum, what kind of staff were working in your area at that stage? And obviously, we weren't amalgamated then. So, but across the whole region, how many people were working in this area?
I would struggle commenting on that. All I can say is in the last 18 months, I've increased our establishment by about 46 technical roles. 46 technical roles out of approximately, currently I think my technical role establishment's about 240, so we're talking significant increase in what we had 18 months ago. What I could comment on is that the team that I've got is significantly more experienced than what I had in 2005 when I was at Auckland City Council as a building control manager. Significantly more, have better tools available to deliver the services they need to. We didn't have any mobile technology capability. We didn't have a regional digital consent lodgement capability, which we're developing at the moment, which is really going to have a huge implications for the quality of the service we provide. The ability for people to be able to lodge consents digitally, for us to be able to process them digitally, get rid of that river of paper. It's a massive productivity gain for us, which we're on the doorstep of at the moment. I think we're doing probably 50 digital consents a month at the moment, and we'll be looking at significantly ramping that up as we go, so that's going to make a big difference. One of the great things at the moment, which we didn't have in 2005, is, I suppose, the capacity to make use of the rest of the country to assist us to process building consents. So at the moment I'm talking to two large territorial authorities who have exactly the opposite situation that we've got. They've actually got a construction industry that's going backwards, and they've actually got spare capacity, quite a considerable amount of spare capacity. So we're in the final stages of signing some contracts with them, and we'll be able to use our newly developed digital channel to be able to shift work digitally down to them. They'll process it digitally and send it back to us. So we're well advanced in that. We've had a lot of conversations with those organisations. We've reviewed their policies and procedures. We've sampled the quality of the work that they do, and we're very happy with it. And so again, that will enable us to have some contingent overflow capability, which we'll be using to help with what we think will be a significant increase in processing.